Hello world, it is Ichima here today for this week's debrief. Or I say this week's as if I'm doing it every week, but I've already committed to not doing it every week. It happens occasionally, so it's whatever. Anyways, today's debrief is going to be on anime, manga, all that good stuff, all that nerd stuff, you know? Okay, so I think a really fun fact for me is that, you know, you always hear, you know, these stories of like, oh, I was bullied for liking anime and manga and all that stuff. You want to know a fun fact about me? I was never bullied for any of that. Mainly because I was a hero, always on the move. I didn't have to worry about being bullied if I was going to be gone the next year. So I never have to worry about being bullied. It's such a... I also just think I was generally one of those kids who was like way too unnoticeable to you know, get the attention of bullies, so there's that too. Anyways, I remember my first time experiencing like anime and manga and all that stuff was like as a little kid, you know, the very common notion of like, oh, I watched Dragon Ball Z growing up, I watched Sailor Moon growing up, but I think my favorite anime was Hamtaro. I loved Hamtaro so much. I used to have like a GBA game of it growing up, and I very distinctly, I can never remember the name of the game, but I distinctly remember like what's the term? I got stuck. That's what I was meant to say. I always got stuck in this one level and I didn't know how to pass it. But it was like a kid's game, so like I don't know how I got stuck. But otherwise, yeah, I always enjoyed watching stuff like that growing up, and the thing about it, right, is I was also one of those like kids who would like passing around. I was one of those kids growing up who used to like, you know, do the whole pirating anime thing. Like I could watch on Funimation, but like I don't even remember if there were some like major subscriptions back then. I remember watching a couple anime on Funimation, but I'd mostly just like go on like bootleg sites and stuff like that, like those really, really tacky like mobile apps where it's like, come read manga for free, and I used to download those, and like it was like, you know, adult content, and I was like, no thank you, no thanks. Double it, pass it on to the next person, I don't want it. And yeah, I think, oh my gosh, there's so much that I used to watch and read. But I used to, oh my gosh, I remember like late nights watching Toonami on like Adult Swim, watching. I used to love Bleach so much. I really want to catch up on it, and I really mean to catch up on it. But oh, I loved Bleach so much. Oh my gosh, that's what I remember. I actually didn't watch Naruto. Oh, I watched a bit of Naruto actually, and I can only say that because I used to like. I think one of my first early like childhood crushes was like Rock Lee, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know. Something about the character. I liked him so much. I think I drew like a picture of him as a kid, and then I hid it because I was so embarrassed. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a crush on the anime kid with this, so embarrassing. Yeah, oh my gosh, it's so fun. Yeah. And then like I used to get into like I think another prominent like anime like manga that I got into growing up was Shugo Chara. Oh my, I obsessed over the anime of Shugo Chara. I used to watch it. I still remember it. I loved Shugo Chara when I was younger, but then when you grow up, you're kind of like, oh, it's really weird, because she's like a middle schooler, and she has like this high schooler that's like, you know, I would say like early high school, following her around, and then he had a sister who was obsessed with her. Like that was a whole can of worms, if I remember correctly. Oh, and Ouran High School Host Club. I loved the anime so much. Just like I'm geeking out because I'm remembering all the stuff I used to watch like slowly but surely. Oh, it was great. Those days were so great. However, I didn't actually get into like you know, like I said, I didn't really get into like Naruto. I think I tried reading it at one point, and then my school's library didn't have the rest of the volume, so I'm like, okay, I give up. I read the original Dragon Ball Z. I remember watching a lot of Dragon Ball. I remember watching Dragon Ball GT, when it was airing on TV. And we used to have the Broly movie on VHS. I remember that. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is such like a trip down memory lane. Because I don't actually remember a lot of stuff from when I was younger. And like the stuff I would watch. But then it like hits me randomly now that I'm remembering it. Like trying to remember it all. I'm like, oh, I remember that. Or I remember that. Like, oh my gosh. It's great. Yeah. But now that I'm older, I actually don't watch anime anymore. I don't watch movies or TV shows at all. Like, I say I don't have like the brain capacity for it. I don't have the patience, because it like each one's like 30 minutes and it's like, what? I get distracted easily. I'm like, oh, I want to scroll on memes on my phone, and then I miss what's going on, and I'm like, wait, I gotta go back like 30 seconds or 10 seconds to see what they said, and you know, it's a whole thing. So I don't watch movies or like, you know, anime or any of that. So I'll have people being like, you should watch Mob Psycho, like it's so good, like the animation's so good, or you should watch Demon Slayer, it's so good, the animation's so good. Like, no, I can't. I'll just settle with reading the manga. Which, wait, reading Mob Psycho was actually, I thought it would be bad. Okay, listen, one's art style is so unique, and it's like, it's a little bit like, you know, jank, but it was actually a pretty easy read, and I really got into it. I stopped reading though when like there's like the giant broccoli that popped up, and I need to like actually reread it. So yeah, man. Still, yeah, but you know, in reference to that, I still read a lot of manga sometimes, but I haven't been reading a lot lately. I think I've been mostly reading like manhwas and stuff like that. You know, like the evil villain, the evil villainess it's like the girl takes over the villainess's place, and then like the heroine is actually the bad guy now, and it's like, whoa. Which, by the way, like critique on that, I much prefer when it's like they can be friends. Like, I like that more than, you know, oh, the heroine was actually a bad person. Like, I just want to see cute girls doing cute things together. Oh my god, I'm like, opening this bag of worms is like, there's so much I could talk about, and it's like, oh man, I don't know. I love the art style of like old like anime and stuff like that, like kind of like your Ranma 1/2, your Inuyasha kind of stuff, like that kind of like 80s anime art style. I love it so much. It's so good. That was like a side comment to all this whole talk, but yeah, I don't know. I think anime has been an extremely big influence on like me as a person, and like the kind of things that I create and do. And it's also just been a really nice way of like, you know, what's the term, like escapism, I suppose, because you know, when your life isn't the greatest and you want just something to kind of clear away the shadows, you have anime and manga, and you can dive into those worlds. And then, you know, I think it's so silly, you know, growing up where you're like, I have my self-insert OC who, you know, is in a relationship with Trunks. It's kind of another one of my childhood crushes is Trunks from But yeah, it's like one of those scenarios where it's like, it's just a nice form of escapism from like real life. And that's actually one of the reasons why I really like the genre of isekai. The kind of idea that you can get away from your boring world, where sometimes you might not feel super appreciated, and then just become like this greater than life figure there and make a name for yourself, and people know you there. It's like in your real world, nobody knows you, and you could feel like underappreciated or like neglected, but then you go to another world and suddenly you're actually someone to these people, to the people you meet, who you impact, and it's like people who don't know you. You have this clean slate to make good in the world, and that's why I love isekai. But I will say that it does have its like bad tropes, you know, the harem isekai. Oh my gosh, I hate harem so much. Like, I'm not even joking. I despise the genre because I'm like, I just want to see like cute. Like, if you're gonna have a relationship in your manga, right? I want it to be like the cute, like, oh yeah, I'm dedicated to you 100%. Not like I got you and I got my 5 other ladies on the side, you know? I got one for every day of the week kind of deal. Like, nah, I ain't about it. Nope. I don't like it. I don't. It disgusts me. It disgusts me, it does. But, oh man. Oh, I will say though, I have one exception to that though. There's one harem manga that I actually really like, and it's because the premise is so ridiculous. The 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love Me, that one, where the guy has to like accept the girls, otherwise they'll die. So I like that one. That one's pretty funny and it's pretty cute. So I'm like, that one's my only exception. Otherwise, I ain't about it, and I don't like it. Especially if like I'm out here rooting for one character where I'm like, yeah, like y'all should get together. Kind of like in Ouran High School Host Club, where it's like I was initially like rooting for, I think her name was Haruka, to get with the one of the twins because they had really good like chemistry and I really liked it. I'm like, you two should be together. And then she ends up with I think it's Tatsumaki, I don't remember. Takumi, one of those T names. It's been so long, by the way, since I've seen any of this, so if I got anything wrong, like, obviously. But yeah, I was really sad when she didn't get with him. So, oh man, yeah, I don't know. I love manga. I love reading. I love all this stuff. Let me think about other stuff that I might have seen. Growing up, I also watched the Ghibli movies. I think my favorite being Ponyo. I think I talked about that once in the Minecraft video, unless I cut that out. But I really liked Ponyo. And then what else? I'm trying to think. Just because I think it's a fun topic, but I'm also like very like, you know, scatterbrained like all the time. So I read Death Note. I remember reading Death Note, and it was pretty good. I really liked Death Note. And then, like, you see those kind of, like, you see video essays about it and, like, why Death Note was actually kind of doo-doo butter. No, I'm just kidding. No, like, how Light was, like, kind of like this idiot a bit. Or, like, how the ending was actually super great, which I actually agree with that. I agree with that narrative now because I watched a video on it and it's, like, it makes sense. And I'm like, you know what? It does make sense. You know, fun fact, actually. In high school, I used to go to the library every day, and I went there so much getting like manga and anime that the librarian came to know me, and she knew my name. She's like, "Oh, hi Chima, like, hi, you're here to check out books, like we got some new anime stuff." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks." Cool, awesome, thanks. It was a little embarrassing, but it was also like really nice, you know, to be like, "Oh, she knows me, like, I'm that much of a loser that she knows." Oh, that reminds me. Oh my gosh, I read so much stuff there. Oh, I actually read like one of my favorite mangas from that. Like, I wouldn't say one of my favorites, but it's one that I really liked. In that library, and that's also where I read like the Dragon Ball, like the whole original like giant Dragon Ball series. It was Bokura or Bokurano. I don't know. I'll put it up on screen, but I read that. And I really liked it. I thought it was really good. I never really read a lot of, like, mecha anime, so that one was really good. I liked it. Makes me want to read more, but I haven't. I read the one about the guy... I read one book of the guy who, I think his dad and, like, the other girl, the love interest girl, like, they were both, like, Yakuza. And... I read like a volume or two of that one. I really liked it. And there's like a locket and a key thing and that whole kind of deal. I read A Silent Voice. That one was really good. I liked that one. Mainly because of like that one video, that one YouTube video. Yeah, I just really love anime and manga. But again, you know, I don't really watch a lot of anime. I haven't really caught up with anything with kind of like mainstream. I tried to read One Piece, and then I stopped reading One Piece. But I want to pick it back up because I actually did really like the first couple chapters that I read, and I'm like, I want to read it. No matter, but people coming to you like, oh, there's like 1,000,000 chapters in there. You sure you want to pick it up? And I'm like, yeah, I do. But I kind of just forget to like pick it up. Right now, I've just been reading like a bunch of manhwa. You know what? I'll open the manga app that I use, and I'll read off ones that I'm reading. Oh, I was reading Mashal. I love the manga so much. I haven't finished it. I know it's over, but I know it's finished, but I really want to read it. It's really good. My Life as an Internet Novel. I like that one. That's a good manhwa. Oh, the Surviving as a Maid. I love that one. I dropped it at first, and I was so I don't know why I dropped it at first, because I don't know why. And I reread it. I'm like, you know what? I'll give it another chance. And then I reread it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is like really good. I cried at the end of like the first season. Like, it broke my heart. Or the end of season 2, I mean. I cried at the end of season 2. It made me really sad. Oh, my instant death ability is so overpowered. No one in this other world stands a chance against me. I read that. That was pretty fun. One of my all-time favorite ones is No Home. That one, I love that one so much. I was like religiously reading it, but I've like fallen behind. I need to reread it. That one's really good. About two guys who live in like a haunted dorm, and one guy destroyed the other guy's like tent because I think he was living out in like a tent. It's really good. It kind of diverts from like the haunted stuff into more like kind of personal stories, and I really like it. I like that one. It's good. It's really good. Yeah. Oh yeah, I read House Husband, The Way of the House Husband. That was really good. Spy X Family, really good. Read that one. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, which by the way, I was reading that and I've seen so much like, you know, shipping art of it, and I'm like, is it like a scenario where it's like there's actual undertones of it, or is it one of those situations where it's like it's a fan thing? And it kind of feels like a fan thing. What chapter did I leave off on? 111. Yeah. No problem with shipping, by the way. I think shipping culture is just kind of normal and ingrained in like anime culture. I think my only problem though with shipping culture is that don't let it stay in fiction and don't take it like serious. I don't want anyone catching any heat because, oh, I like the female lead A and the main character, and then other person B is like, I'll cut you further. No, male lead needs to be with female B. I'll make sure your entire family rues this comment that you've made, kind of deal. Like, shipping should be fun. Like, it should be just a fun thing, you know? My own ships, like, not in manga. Like, when it comes to manga, I'll ship whatever the author puts on the plate, you know? Like, if two characters got good chemistry, I'll be like, I like that. Usually the main character and, like, you know, the main female character, but details. But I have a lot of ships in, like, when it comes to, like, gaming stuff, and there's a lot of people who will be like, nah. So it'd be like a lot, but yeah, there's a lot of like people in like other gaming spaces where like shipping's really serious for them, and I think that's really dumb because it's like, I don't know, I'm gonna be honest with you, like I think it's kind of dumb. If you take it too seriously, like it should be just for fun. Like, here's an example. I personally really hate Alhaitham X Kaveh. I hate that ship so much. For various reasons. I won't go into it. Maybe if I go into, like, I don't know, talking about Genshin one day, I'll talk about it, but I hate that ship a lot with like a passion. And personally, I have my own little crack ship where it's like I ship Kaveh and Nilou, but he is the thing. I ain't never gonna take that off. I'm never gonna go to no Kaveh X. I'll hate them artists and be like, yo, stop making this. This is ass. This is garbage. You're terrible. I hope you stub your toe. No, shipping should just be fun and, you know, like that. Like, if I see it, I'm like, I won't like the art, but I'll be like, that's some good art though. Like, if it's really well drawn, I'll be like, yeah, that's fire. Like, great. Awesome. Do you have other art? Oh, you have a Risley art? Let me give that one a like instead. Yeah. Shipping shouldn't be serious. It shouldn't be like taken so seriously. Like, how are you gonna get mad at somebody because they ship something that you don't ship? Like, that's kind of crazy. The fictional characters, bro, they can't say nothing to you about it. Just have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously. You know? That's just how it should be. But yeah, I love anime. I love manga. I love all that stuff. I need to read more though. I need to read more. I have a lot of updates that I've not gotten to. My toxic trait is not reading the mangas that have already been updated in my my thing. Like, and that's my toxic trait. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, actually, additional notes. I don't watch anime, but there have been 2 anime, I will say, in specific that I've actually like watched, and that was the Konosuba dub. I watched that. I love Konosuba. Listen, if it's a comedy, I will watch it because, you know, if the voice acting's good, like as good as it is in Konosuba, 100%. And the other one that I watched was, I don't remember the name. Oh, but now I'm remembering even more anime that I watched. If I remember them, I'll put them up on the screen and you can see what I watched, and I'll put like a little like, oh yeah, good. But yeah, with that being said, have a lovely day, night, or evening, fellow heroes. Take care of yourselves. It is still kind of hot, at least in my region. It's still kind of hot. Take care of yourselves. Get water, hydrate. Take care of yourselves. Okay, bye bye. Adios. Bye bye.